Welcome to Inspire Change, a new inspirational and motivational broadcast that strives to empower men in a positive way. The entire series will consist of only 5 minutes. Yes, 5 minutes, as they are designed to educate, empower, and inspire even the busiest individual on the go over that first cup of coffee. Please join me in welcoming Gunter, international psychologist, author, speaker, and producer.
Hey everyone, thanks again for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed the last episode, which I focused a little bit on dads. In today's episode, I want to focus on a quote by Vin Diesel, one that I really enjoy and often sit and reflect on. He said, "Being male is a matter of birth. Being a man is a matter of age. Being a great man is a matter of choice." Now, I sort of paraphrased him a little bit, threw in the great. Now, I know that there are a lot of men out there that are good men that are commendable. They work hard, they provide for their families, and they meet their obligations. The issue, though, is that we might actually need to step up and provide a bit more. And the question is, how do we do that? So ask yourself, just on a personal level, do you feel like you're just surviving, or are you striving to thrive? And by doing so, is that potentially going to elevate you to that place where you can think about yourself as a great man, or does it require more? Especially since many of us are in a position where we're actually really influencing others. That might be as a partner, it might be as a parent, it might be at work, in our professions. We've got to remember that our modern world is not what our grandfathers were used to. And while most of those were good men, it stands to reason that we've got to adapt to a changing world. And that was what was then mightn't apply to what is going on now. And one of the things that we talk a lot about is that masculinity is in trouble. And there's little doubt about that. The statistic on men's physical, psychological, and social health and well-being today is poor. And it's surprising because, at least in the Western industrialized world, we seem to have everything that it should take to thrive. Yet many of us don't. Another emerging issue today is that society is persistently attempting to blur the lines between men and women. And while our grandfathers lived in a time that clearly outlined and defined who and what a man was and how they were different from women, we happen to live in a society that challenges those traditional definitions. It comes from the confusion that gender equality means sameness, whereas I argue that it doesn't. It doesn't mean, however, that I'm suggesting that we go back to the good old days. There probably were no good old days. I'm talking about getting back on track as men, husbands, boyfriends, as fathers, where we need to think and rethink what masculinity in today's context really is about. So think about it. What's going to be important now and potentially for the future? What are the issues individually, in the family, socially? Now, here's what masculinity isn't. It's not about being narcissistic. It's not about being a braggart, a bully, reckless, carefree, greedy, and aggressive. Do not confuse arrogance with confidence. And unfortunately, that's one of the things that happens only too frequently today. So as a man in today's context, I need to ask myself, who am I? What qualities do I want to portray to the world around me? And how authentic am I in those? Again, like in the last episode, what's my role as a father? What do I want my children to learn from me? And what really does separate the boys from the men and the men from the boys? All of those questions and lots more that we might want to answer are what I'm really on about. I want each and every one of us as a male in our society to thoroughly examine our lives in relationships with our partners, our wives, our kids, but especially at work. And so for me, making Good Men Great as a project is there to do exactly that. Rethink masculinity, set up a system where we can change and create networks with other men wherein we have meaningful conversations about this stuff. So my invitation to all you guys out there is really simple. Think about it and then do something about it. And one step might be to join the project and come on a new and exciting journey.
Thank you, Gunter, and thank you to our listeners in our first super short broadcast series, Inspired Change with Gunter Swoboda. Please join us every Wednesday for a new broadcast by visiting www.spreaker.com/show/inspire-change, which will feature all the ways you can listen. If you have comments or suggestions, email producer@studio3hollywood.net. Thank you and have an inspiring day.